In today's video, I'm going to show you my full workflow on how I created this cinematic animation, from the initial spark of creativity to the final prompts. And we're doing it all using Higgsfield. Why Higgsfield? Because it changes everything. It's a platform that brings all the best AI models together in one place. No more jumping between tabs or complex setups. It's my command center for high-quality AI generation. So, let's dive in and see how we turn an idea into a movie trailer. The first thing we need to do is map out our vision. I usually start by describing the scenes I'm imagining in my head. For this specific animation, I planned out about 15 different shots. My advice? Don't overthink the first draft. I wrote very vague descriptions for each of the 15 scenes, just to get the ideas out of my head and onto the screen. This allows me to see the flow of the story before I even start polishing the prompts. Let's get started. First, I researched what Nicolas Maduro's residence actually looked like. I wanted this shot to be as realistic as possible, even though exact data is hard to find. Once I had a reference image, I used this prompt to upscale it to HD, so I could use it as a base for the following shots. Next, I created the first two shots, which are connected. I started with the interior. Maduro and his wife watching Netflix, cinematic and chill. Gemini improved all my prompts based on my main idea, and these were the results. For the wide shot, I combined the reference of them on the sofa with a view of the mansion from a distance. I specified a night setting in the prompt, and here is the outcome. Now for the helicopter shot. This was fairly easy. I looked up the specific helicopter used to transport Maduro and used this prompt. I wanted several more helicopters escorting them, and the results were actually quite good. The next shot features Donald Trump in a DEA or FBI office. I wanted him looking at a screen monitoring the events, a soldier's POV, simulating the entire mission from their perspective. Since I knew this prompt would only take me a few attempts, I went straight to 4K for this one. Next shots. These two are also connected, as I wanted to simulate Maduro leaving for the bathroom because he was tired, leaving his wife alone. So I took the previous image of Maduro and his wife and simply asked the AI to remove Maduro. Then, to get Maduro in this position, I used the mansion and the couch scene as references, along with the prompt you see here. This gives the AI context of what the whole house looks like, and it placed him in a hallway that looks exactly like where he would live. Mood: tired, yawning, and walking slowly. It gave a pretty solid result, to be honest. Okay, let's get to the action. For this, I used the official helicopter, the house at night, the interior where the wife is alone, and the escort helicopters as references, combined with this prompt that was improved by Gemini. The results were these. As you can see, they are quite good, but the interior of the house didn't fully convince me. So, I took a result I liked, cropped just the window, and used it as a reference in another prompt. And the result? Perfect. Exactly what I was looking for. Then, for the close-up of the soldier, I used this image as a reference for him entering the room. After that, I took the image I liked most and asked for an HD close-up of the soldier. Next shots. This one was quite easy to do since it's a close-up of a scared Nicolas Maduro. I searched for a photo of Maduro's face on Google so the AI could replicate it perfectly, and I also used the yawning photo as a reference. The results were incredible. Next, I used that same yawning photo to have him turn around and run. I used this prompt, and the result was decent enough. I took that same running prompt and added the following: a bunker-style metal door in the background going down some stairs. I also made a closer shot of the metal door. In a hallway, reaching the door, bunker-style. Then, I provided these two reference photos and told the AI he should be in a pose trying to open the metal door, with soldiers pointing at him. Scared face, cinematic, desperation. Then I gave it these three reference images along with this prompt. The result was quite good. At first, it showed him from behind, but after a few tries and refining the prompt, I got the perfect result. And for the last shot, I used the famous photo of him being captured as a reference. I also used another HD photo to make it look perfect, combined with this prompt. The result was flawless, one of the best shots in my opinion. Perfect. Now that we have successfully generated all our keyframes and cinematic stills, it's time for the most exciting part of the process, bringing them to life through animation. This is where the static images transform into a real story. It's actually quite intuitive. We just head over to the video generation section in Higgsfield, which acts as our command center for everything related to motion. For the majority of these shots, I decided to go with the Kling 2.6 model. After countless hours of testing different models, I found that Kling 2.6 offers the best balance between fluid motion and cost-effectiveness, especially for cinematic projects. The way it handles lighting transitions and character consistency is honestly impressive. The workflow here is straightforward. We provide a clear prompt describing the specific movement we want to see, and then we upload our reference image to guide the AI's spatial awareness. And as you can see, the results speak for themselves. The motion feels natural, and the cinematic weight of the original image is preserved perfectly. I'm going to walk you through each of the prompts I used and show you the exact video output for every single shot, so you can see how the text influences the final movement. One thing you need to keep in mind is that AI video generation is still an iterative process. As you'll see in these generations, it's rare to get a flawless result on your very first try. There's definitely an element of luck involved, and sometimes you have to roll the dice a few times to get that perfect take. However, the secret is in the description. If you describe the physics, the camera angle, and the speed of the action clearly in your prompt, that trial and error process becomes much faster and more predictable. I also want to touch on the audio design. In some of these shots, I added custom atmospheric audio, while in others, I chose to leave them silent. It really depends on the emotional weight of the scene. For the wide shots and transitions where no characters were speaking, I focused on ambient soundscapes to build tension and realism without the need for dialogue, keeping the viewer focused on the visual storytelling. Overall, I'm incredibly happy with how this turned out. The results are quite powerful and show just how far this technology has come. I highly encourage you to experiment with all the different models Higgsfield has to offer. My personal favorites right now are Sora 2 for high-end physics and Kling for character-driven scenes. You really have to test them side by side to see which one fits the specific needs of your shot. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want to see more cinematic AI animations and the latest workflows for image and video generation, make sure to hit that like button and leave a comment below with your thoughts. Your support helps me keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible with these tools.